Okay, good evening, everybody. We're about to start the June 24th Anne Arundel County Liquor Board hearing, and it's now called to session. All board hearings are now transcribed and stored electronically. These transcripts serve as the official minutes of each of the hearings and can be reviewed online or by an appointment with the board. I move that the transcripts from the boards from the last two previous hearings, April 8th and April 22nd, be approved as minutes for those dates. And I'm seeking a second.
I second the motion.
Thank you for the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, you can vote on it.
Aye.
We have two anyway, so we're good. We'll just welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to also just take a quick second and welcome Commissioner Sung. Commissioner Sung has been newly appointed to take Otis Duffy's position. Otis was term limited with 8 years. So welcome, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hurdle, I'm going to turn it over to you, please.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm Abraham Hurdle, counsel for the board. At the beginning of every meeting, counsel makes a few brief announcements. First, the commissioners are part-time public servants and they have outside interests. When they know that those interests have a conflict or the appearance of a conflict, they will recuse themselves. They cannot possibly know who will appear from the public in any given matter, which may present a conflict of interest to them. If anybody believes that any commissioner has a conflict of interest in any matter, you have to announce that to us as the case is called, and the commissioner or commissioners, as the case may be, will deal with that accordingly. If not, then the commissioners will proceed with all hearings under the assumption there is no conflict of interest. Secondly, the rules of the board provide that the chair, for purposes of administrative and judicial economy, can have the board's counsel, myself, rule on admissibility of evidence and objections if there are counsel present and objections are made. The board handles many cases at every hearing, and this assignment allows us to expedite the hearings. So rather than the chairman turning to me and me advising the chairman, I'll simply make a ruling, and my ruling will be that of the chair. Chairman?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Welcome, everyone. We do have a few quick announcements to make. If everyone can silence their cell phones and put them on silent, ensure they're on silent, we would appreciate it. We also are going to announce that the violation case for Crofton Liquors and the application for Courtyard BWI have both been postponed until August 12th of 2025. The first case we have today is Crazy Crab, KJ USA Inc., Jong Quinn Lee, President, Zhao Lin, Vice President, Mary Provins, Assistant Secretary, Mary Common, Manager, Ashley Victoria Wilson, Bartender, Detective Cepeda, Badge 1239, Detective Mountcastle, Badge 1155, Inspector Earl Barnes. This is a Class H restaurant, beer, wine, and liquor with entertainment and Sunday service. The address is 7700 Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21061. There are no restrictions on the license. This is for a violation of the rules and regulations of the Board of License Commissioners for Anne Arundel County, Chapter 4, Section 4.01A, titled Minors, in reference to an Anne Arundel County Police Report 25-706316 by Detective Mountcastle, Badge 1155, Detective Cepeda, Badge 1139, and the incident date of March 1st, 2025. We also have a second violation for violation of alcoholic beverages and cannabis article, Annotated Code of Maryland, Title 6, Section 6-304, titled Selling or Providing Alcoholic Beverages to Individual under the age of 21 years. This is in reference, again, to an Anne Arundel County Police Report, number 25-706316 by Detective Mountcastle, 1155, and Detective Cepeda, Badge 1239, incident date March 1st of 2025. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward and remain standing and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated. Starting to my left, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Detective Mountcastle, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Thank you.
Detective Charles Cepeda, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Mary Kama,
246 Inlet Drive, Pasadena, Maryland.
John Quinley, 4503 Grand Noble Court, Raphael, Maryland, 20853.
Mary Province, 278 Wood Oak Court, Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21061.
Thank you all. Mr. Hurdle?
Officers?
Good evening. On March 1st, 2025, at approximately 6 p.m., myself, Detective Middleton, and Detective Mountcastle were working Operation SAVE, conducting alcohol compliance checks at retail businesses and restaurants. We directed a confidential source, 25 years of age, to enter the Crazy Crab restaurant. For the record, it's at 805 Aquahart Road, Glen Burnie, Maryland, and that's in Anne Arundel County. We observed the confidential source into the restaurant. The confidential source went into the restaurant, sat at the bar, sales bar, or beverage bar. Confidential source asked the bartender for a Blue Moon beer. The bartender did not ask the confidential source for identification and served the Blue Moon alcoholic beverage beer to the confidential source who was seated at the bar. We know through our training and knowledge and experience that Blue Moon beer is an alcoholic beverage. Myself, Detective Middleton, and Detective Mountcastle then entered the establishment, identified ourselves as police officers, identified the bartender as Ashley Victoria Wilson. Just for the record, I don't see Ms. Wilson here today. Okay. Ms. Wilson was identified by her Maryland driver's license. Ms. Wilson advised that she had had the alcohol awareness training prior to the transaction. The restaurant manager was identified as Mary Coma, who's seated at my left, with a date of birth of 7/24/1974, and she was also advised of the incident. A photograph was taken of Ms. Wilson and her identification card, which is attached to my police report. Photograph was also taken of the Blue Moon alcoholic beverage, and the liquor license was properly displayed inside the restaurant. All events occurred in Anne Arundel County. This case is closed, and the report was forwarded to the Anne Arundel County Liquor Board.
Do the licensees have any questions of the officer?
No, sir.
Chairman, do you have any questions of the officers?
Were they cooperative?
Oh, yes, they were. Yes, they were, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioners, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I understand Ms. Wilson is not here tonight, and I believe she is no longer employed there. Is that correct?
She's not employed there anymore.
Okay. All right. You heard the officer testify, and you don't disagree with anything he said?
No, sir.
That you're aware of?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. And the manager is Mary Coma?
That's me.
Oh, I'm sorry,
sir.
okay. And, okay. All right, no, I have no further questions at this time. I will in the near future, but not as of now.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
Question from me. Detective Cepeda, I think you testified that the confidential source was 25 years old. I just want to clear for the record that pursuant to this report, it was a
I'm sorry. Mr.
20-year-old, correct?
20 years. Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
Do the licensees have any response at this time, any rebuttal testimony?
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, any questions?
This is the second offense in the last 3 years. Were you, at that time, Ms. Coma, were you employed at the location?
I was employed at the location, but I was not the general manager at the time.
Okay,
I was a bartender at the time.
all right, very good. Are either of you aware of the fact that this is a second violation in the last 3 years?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
Commissioners, any questions of licensees?
No questions.
No questions from me.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and, after listening to the testimony of the officers in this case, and unless you have something that you want to add in your defense, now's the time to speak up.
I would. So since the incident happened, I make sure all my employees, servers, bartenders, have their tip certification. If not, had already had it renewed, have it. Anybody coming in, they have it. I also am ordering the handheld scanners just to make sure, and we are, once we card someone, we're scanning them to make sure they are age verified, and that because it is a restaurant and a bar also, with them moving around, we know that absolutely they have been carded and they're legally able to drink. And then randomly doing checks at tables just to make sure if somebody has alcohol, that they were carded.
Okay, thank you. It's my understanding you have 2 people on your management agreement at present, or has that been expanded?
So I sent in yesterday. I have 2 more also that I was going to turn in tonight to her.
Okay, yeah. You do understand that if the licensees are not on the premises, that a person whose name appears on the management agreement must be there, and that person must be alcohol awareness certified and trained.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Yeah, please update your management agreement. Michelle in our office is pretty quick to turn them around. And if anybody leaves, and I might suggest you replace them with other people. And it's also very important that they understand that as part of being the manager, even though they may not have been the barmaid or bartender serving, that it's part of their responsibility to keep an eye on their employees and remind them occasionally and, so forth. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Okay.
I just want to apologize for the incident happened.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm glad to see you're taking positive action to hopefully prevent this from happening again. Because you did have an offense back on June 22nd of 2022, this is the second offense or for noncompliance for sale to a minor within a 5-year period. And we take that pretty seriously, and I'm sure you will too after tonight, if not before. It is usually the first time the fine is, is minimal compared to the second and so forth. I'm going to make a motion that we fine you $1,000 on each of the 2 counts, a total of $2,000, plus the administrative cost, or sometimes referred to as court cost. And I'm looking for a second on that motion.
I second the motion.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Again, please be careful, and hopefully your scanner and, what you're doing will prevent this from happening again. Have a good evening. You're excused.
Thank you.
Okay, next case that we have is Goldberg Liquors. Damney LTD, Alan Ehrenstein, President, Arthur Arnstein, Vice President, William Thompson, Manager, Amy Marie Hatfield, Clerk, Detective Middleton, Badge 1061, Detective Mountcastle, Badge 1155, Inspector Jackie Alsop. This is for a Class A packaged goods, beer, wine, and liquor license with beer and wine tasting and Sunday service located at 5106 Ritchie Highway, Baltimore, Maryland, 21225. No restrictions on the license. The first violation we have is for violation of the rules and regulations of the Board of License Commissioners for Anne Arundel County. Chapter 4, Section 4.01A, titled Minors, in reference to Anne Arundel County Police Report 25-6 710246 by Detective Middleton, badge 1061. Detective Mountcastle, badge 1155. Incident date of April 3rd of 2025. We have a second violation for violation of alcoholic beverages and cannabis article, annotated code of Maryland, Title 6, Section 6-304, titled Selling or Providing Alcoholic Beverages to Individual Under the Age of 21 Years. This is also in reference to an Anne Arundel County Police Report 25-710246 by Detective Middleton, badge 1061, and Detective Mountcastle, badge 1155. And again, incident date April 3rd of 2025. So anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward and remain standing and raise your right hand. Please, can you stand?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. All right. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. You can be seated now. Mr. Ertl? Sorry about that, Mr. Chairman. Starting to my left, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Detective Mountcastle, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Detective Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Yes, sir.
Alan Aaronstein, 7719 Locust Grove Road, Glen Burnie.
Amy Hatfield, 5200 Ritchie Highway.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle.
Detectives?
Good evening. This is Detective Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police. Again, this incident was April 3rd of 2025. It was approximately 7:30 p.m. I was with Detective Mountcastle, 1155. We were working Operation Safe, selected alcohol violation enforcement. We conducted compliance checks of retail businesses. We had a confidential source who was 20 years of age. I do have a certified MVA copy for age verification. The CS entered Goldberg's Liquors at 5106 Ritchie Highway, located here in Baltimore, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the business. The CS picked out a six-pack of Budweiser beer, proceeded to the payment counter. The clerk did not ask the CS for any identification. CS had been given official Anne Arundel County funds, was able to purchase the six-pack of Budweiser beer. The confidential source exited the store, immediately turned over the alcoholic beverage to myself and Detective Mountcastle. I know through my training, knowledge, experience that Budweiser beer is an alcoholic beverage. We entered the store, identified ourselves as police officers, and identified the clerk as Miss Amy Hatfield via her Maryland identification license. We advised Miss Hatfield of the violation. She immediately apologized for her mistake. She advised us there was another manager on duty, Mr. William Thompson. We spoke to Mr. William Thompson also about the violation. Ms. Hatfield advised that she has had the alcohol awareness training. We took photos of the six-pack of Budweiser beer and the Anne Arundel County liquor license, and there was a copy of the manager's agreement hanging in the establishment. The six-pack of Budweiser beer was destroyed subsequently after the incident. Ms. Hatfield was very cooperative and apologized for the sale. She was extremely upset during the incident, very visibly upset while we were dealing with her. A copy of the report was forwarded to the Anne Arundel County Liquor Board, and that would be our statement of facts.
Mr. Aaronstein, do you have any questions?
Not at this point.
Mr. Chairman, any questions? Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
This time I turn over to licensees.
I would like to welcome Mr. Sung to the board.
Thank you.
And just let him know, if you're not here, and let you all know, my family's owned Goldberg's Liquors for over 50 years. I've been operating this store for close to 40 years. We are known as being amazingly compliant. We're probably the best in the industry, but we do make mistakes. Amy had no intent of selling. It was completely a poor judgment on her part. She is still employed, and she is a great employee.
Chairman, any questions?
No, and I am well aware of your location, and you're one of the oldest licensed have no questions at this time.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we come down with the motion?
I would request if we can have a reduction in the fee, in the fine.
Okay. It's been the practice of this board and this particular chairman in his motions that we try to treat everybody equally the same. And I think that's important. Even though your record and, time does show us something. I think the fact that you had a previous, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, a previous violation in August 14th of 2021, which is within that 5-year period that we look at. And you do agree that you did have a previous violation back in 2021? Okay, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we do proceed just like we did in the last time. This is your second offense within 5 years. And there's no doubt you were upset and sorry you did it, and I'm sure it probably will not happen again. But I'm going to make a motion that we fine you $1,000 for each of the two counts, a total of $2,000 plus the administrative fees or cost. I'm looking for a second.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that'd be the decision of the board.
Great.
Thank you, and lots of luck in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next case we have is for Mi Pueblo Inc. Juan Meza, President, Ricardo Morales, Manager, Angel Giovanni Gonzalez Dominguez, Server, Detective Middleton, Badge 1061, Detective Mountcastle, Badge 1155, Inspector Earl Barnes.
Full break reading.
Thank you, sir. All right, anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward and remain standing and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. Starting from to my left, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Detective Mountcastle, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Detective Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
John Gardner, on behalf of the licensees in Mi Pueblo, 7310 Ritchie Highway, Suite 412, Glenbrook.
Thank you.
Okay. Ricardo Morales, 303 Kent Avenue, Pasadena, Maryland, 22122.
Angel Giovanni Gonzalez with 52 Glenbury, Maryland.
My name is Juan Mesa. My address is 506 Sunset North, Pasadena, 21122.
Thank you all. You may be seated. Mr. Hurdle?
Thank you, Inspector.
Detectives?
Good evening. Detective Mountcastle. On 3/8/2025 at approximately 16:30 hours, Detective Middleton and I were working Operation Save, selected alcohol violation enforcement of restaurants and businesses. We directed a confidential source, a 20 years of age subject, to enter the Mi Pueblo restaurant located at 7556 Ritchie Highway, Glenburnie, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the business. The CS had been seated at a table and ordered a Blue Moon Belgian white ale beer. The server did not ask the CS for any identification. The CS texted Detective Middleton and we entered the business. The CS then advised us who the server was, and then the CS exited the restaurant. I know through my training, knowledge, and experience that Blue Moon Belgian white ale beer is an alcoholic beverage. Detective Middleton and I identified ourselves as police and identified the server as Angel Giovanni Gonzalez Dominguez, date of birth of 6/6/86. I believe he's sitting. I don't know what he's wearing.
The white shirt?
Yeah.
Is that the correct individual?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. He was identified via his Maryland driver's license. We advised Mr. Gonzalez of the violation. Mr. Gonzalez advised the manager, Mr. Ricardo Morales, date of birth of 12/4/90, and we spoke to Mr. Morales and advised him of the failed compliance check violation. Mr. Gonzalez advised he had the alcohol awareness training and photos of the business, the Blue Moon Belgian White Ale beer, the Anne Arundel County liquor license, which was properly hung. Mr. Gonzalez and his identification were taken and submitted in this report. Now, I did notice the Blue Moon beer was not in the report. Doesn't look like that photo came up, but I do have the photo of the beer with the Mi Pueblo menu right there. Yeah. The Blue Moon Belgian Ale beer was left at the restaurant for them to dispose of. Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Morales were very cooperative, and a copy of this report was forwarded to the liquor board. Case closed.
Mr. Gardner, any questions?
Yes, Detective, did you confirm the age of the CS?
Yes.
Do you have that?
Yes, I do. It's a certified copy. It's up top to the.
January 2000. All right, thank you. And your record, your report, and I think you testified that they were very cooperative.
Yes, sir.
Both the manager and the waiter.
Yes, yes.
Okay. How long were you two at Mu Pueblo from the time you went in until the time you left?
I would say 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Probably.
All right. I have nothing further.
Chairman, any questions?
And I think the report covered any questions that I did have here has been answered, so no questions at this time.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes, I would offer as an exhibit the certificate of alcohol awareness for the waiter, who is the Mr. Gonzalez Dominguez. That expires in the fall of 2026, so it's an active one, which he had, and it was effective at the time of the incident. Mr. Gonzalez has been an employee of Muy Pueblo since early 2023 and has served many, many people. My understanding is that this was an honest mistake of misidentifying someone who he had seen before and whom he had carded before, but he failed to do so this time, and it is clearly a mistake, honest mistake or otherwise, it's a mistake. But I would ask the manager, what is your name again?
Ricardo Morales.
Okay, and you're the manager at Muy Pueblo?
Yes, yes, sir.
And is there a policy on carding and anybody to whom Muy Pueblo serves alcohol?
Yeah.
And what is that policy?
Less to 40 years old.
Okay, do you mean that if they appear
Yeah,
to
look
look
like,
40 years old or less,
yeah,
you card them?
we're correct, yeah.
All right, and that did not happen in this case?
Yeah.
That's all I have in the way of questions or testimony, but I understand it's the second violation according to our records from December of 2022, 2.5 years ago. It is an honest mistake, but I think it's there's some mitigation because of a misunderstanding of identifying who it was. He thought it was somebody that he had seen before who was overage, but it was a mistake. But with that, I would ask for the counts to be merged and ask for leniency on the fine, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gardner.
Chairman, any questions?
I do. You asked the manager about the policy and so forth, but I'm curious if, in fact, the waiter was aware of that at the time.
Mr. Gonzalez, did you know about the policy to ask for identification? and to see what their age was? I think, can I have someone translate for them?
Of course,
Yeah.
please.
Okay.
Que si sabías de la póliza que tenemos, que pudiera ir de toda la gente menor de 40 años.
Yes.
Okay, and you've been employed since early 2023 at Mi Pueblo? And you were aware of that policy of asking someone who appears to be under the age of 40 for their identification? Did you know that?
No.
You knew that policy beforehand, before March 8th of
Yeah.
2025?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gardner. Thank you, sir, for your help.
Thank you.
No further questions at this time.
Commissioners, any questions?
I have no questions.
I have no questions.
Okay, Mr. Gardner, I understand and your request, but like I said in the last case and the one before that, we try to treat everybody fairly. And your admission to the violation on December 18th of 2022 being the first offense and this being the second within a 5-year period, I'm going to make a motion to impose the same fine of $1,000 for each of the 2 counts plus cost. And I'm very familiar with your establishment. It's a very nice, very well-run establishment, and unfortunately, mistakes happen. But this is one where the employees and the managers need to really press and express to the employees the importance of checking ID. All right?
From my conversation with him, Mr. Chairman, this is a lesson learned.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons for it. So I made a motion for $1,000 on each of the 2 counts, a total of $2,000. Looking for a second.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So be it. Have a good day and lots of luck in the future. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
The next case we have is for Liquor Nursery LLC, trading as Nursery Road Liquors.
Yes, we're present. We'll waive the reading.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. All right, remain standing and raise your right hand, please, so you can be sworn in. All right. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated. Starting to my left, could you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Detective Mountcastle, Anne Arundel County Police.
Detective Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police.
Detective Charles Cepeda, also.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Richard Bittner, BITTNER, on behalf of licensees.
Ghanshyam Patel, 7706 Rotherham Drive, Hanover, Maryland.
Hiren Singala, 6113 Good Hunters Ride, Columbia, Maryland, 21045.
Hitesh Jinjuvadia, 6211 Springstone Place, Clifton, Virginia, 20124.
Thank you, everyone. Mr. Hurdle?
Detective?
Detective Mountcastle here. On 3-8.
For the purpose of the record, if I may, we'll enter denial.
Thank you, Mr. Bittner.
On 3/8/2025 at approximately 15:30 hours, Detective Middleton and I were working Operation Save, selected alcohol violation
Objection to the
enforcement.
mode of the testimony. It appears Officer Van Castle is just reading the report. Not testimony.
Officer, is the record that you're reading from something that's been submitted
Yes.
overruled?
We were conducting compliance checks of retail businesses. We directed a confidential source, a 20 years of age subject, to enter the Nursery Road Liquors located at 6 Nursery Road, Linthicum, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the business. The CS picked out a 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice green apple flavored malt beverage and a mini Crown Royal Peach flavored whiskey and proceeded to the payment counter. The clerk did not ask the CS for
You want to make a
identification.
motion objection basis of knowledge.
Thank you, Mr. Bittner. I'm overruling your objection.
The CS had been given official Anne Arundel County funds and was able to purchase the 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice Green Apple flavored malt beverage and the Mini Crown Royal Peach flavored whiskey. The CS exited the store and immediately turned over the alcoholic beverages to us, myself and Detective Middleton. I know through my training, knowledge, and experience that a 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice Green Apple flavored malt beverage and the Mini Crown Royal Peach flavored whiskey are alcoholic beverages. Detective Middleton and I entered this store, identified ourselves as police officers, and we identified the clerk as Pojo Jais Suther, date of birth of 7/28/1998, via her Maryland driver's license, and she is not here at this time. We advised Ms. Suther of the violation. Ms. Suther advised the manager, Hareen Schigel, was on break and not there at this time. There were other employees at the business working, but no one was on the manager's agreement at the time of this transaction. Ms. Suther advised she had the alcohol awareness training. Photos of the business, the 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice Green Apple flavored malt beverage, and the Mini Crown Royal Peach flavored whiskey, the Anne Arundel County liquor license, Ms. Suther and her identification were taken and submitted in this report. The 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice Green Apple flavored malt beverage and Mini Crown Royal Peach flavored whiskey was destroyed. Ms. Suther was cooperative and apologized for her mistake. A copy of this report will be forwarded to Anne Arundel County Liquor Board. This case is closed.
Detective Brown, Counsel, is that document something you're going to submit into evidence today?
I believe it was already submitted to the Liquor Board earlier.
Thank you. Mr. Bittner, any questions?
So are you moving that in? Is that,
The document's submitted into the record already, Mr. Bittner.
just for the record, I make a motion that it's submitted as evidence, as a charging document.
Thank you, Mr. Bittner. Do you have any questions, Mr. Bittner,
Yes,
the
thank
detectives?
you, thank you. And thank you, Officer Brown, Counsel. As you indicated, Ms. Suthar was polite and cooperative and apologetic with you.
Yes, she was.
And she indicated that she had alcohol awareness certification.
Yes, she did.
Let me ask you, show you for identification number one. Did she show you that certificate that night?
She did not.
She did not.
No.
But you'd agree with me that's a valid
Yes,
certificate?
I would agree with you.
This certificate, and it would have been valid on the date in question.
Yes.
Now, you and Detective Middleton saw the CI, that term, to go into the store,
Correct.
but you didn't observe the transaction.
No, we did not.
And your report doesn't indicate, nor does your testimony here today indicate that CI, so termed, was searched by any of the SAVE task force before she went into the store, correct?
That's correct.
So without searching her, you don't know whether in fact she had any other type of form of ID in her possession, indicating that she would have been over 21 years of age.
Well, we actually search everyone, all the CSs, the confidential sources, prior, right when we start the day.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
we don't search them in front of each business.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood your testimony, so.
I did not testify to that.
So she
I'm just-
was, at some point,
Yeah,
that.
when we start the detail that night, when we pick them up, that's when we search them. So they're in our vehicle the whole time, so.
Understand. Okay, I misunderstood what you said. Okay. Thank you. All right, no, thank you. I don't have any other questions of Officer Mountcastle.
Chairman, any questions?
Just for clarity's sake, at the time the sale was made, I was advised that Ms. Suther advised that the manager, Hiram Shingal, was on a break and not available at that time, or not there at that time. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
You were the manager, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you on a break at that time when this took place? Meaning you were not in the building, or where were you?
No, I was not in the building, yes.
Okay. All right. When you returned to the building, about how long was that, do you think? Or how long were you gone? Let me ask it in a different way.
I came the next day, yeah, because I was out of, I went to the, like,
Oh, so you weren't on a break?
Yes.
You had left for the day,
Right.
is that correct?
yes.
Oh, okay. Was there,
Mr. Chairman, I believe, maybe it was a misunderstanding of the question, there was another person who I believe was under the management agreement. But they're, submit on that.
was there another person in the store at that time who was on the management agreement? And if so, what's the name of that person? I don't see anything else in the report.
He had left. He was not there.
So there was no one there on the management agreement, nor was there a licensee at that time? Am I correct in?
Mr. Chairman, you're asking me to testify.
All right, I'll withdraw. Could you tell me if there was another manager in the store, or was there a licensee at the time of this sale?
No.
No. Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Commissioners, any questions of the officers or detectives?
No questions.
No questions.
Mr. Bittner?
So, most respectfully, I make a motion for judgment. I did no testimony supporting the age of the CS. Heard no testimony about certified verification of the age. I filed a request on April the 9th when I entered my appearance requesting all the evidence that the board intended to rely on. We didn't receive any certified copies or anything beyond the report alleging 20 years of age. But there's been nothing advanced here this evening corroborating that. No oral testimony other than the rote
I have a certified copy.
rendition of the report, that certified copy that now is apparently trying to be offered. Again, wasn't provided to us, wasn't presented in the case in chief.
We would deny that request, Mr. Bittner. You had an opportunity to ask the officer for that information. He's testified that the CS was 20 years old. If there was any confusion at that time, you could have asked. In addition, the board isn't relying on any of the evidence or testimony presented. Well, any of the evidence that's presented, it's not something that's not the board's case, it's the officer's case. They bring these cases for the SAVE unit, not the liquor board inspectors. We don't have this information, we just have the same report that you were presented with.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bittner.
And I don't have any other questions for the officers.
Chairman, any questions for the licensees?
Do you know how many managers you have on your management agreement, sir?
Mr. Chairman, there was a recent update submitted, made the 21st for managers. Is that the agreement you're referring to?
Yes, as of that date.
Just
because this occurred.
We have 6 people right now.
We have
And
6 right now. All
yeah.
right, then, and then on the date of the incident, which was March 8th, how many did you have on your management agreement?
It was because after that, we just renew everything and
Yep.
we update the automaton and we hire everybody. And we also have a class to certify everyone. So this is the update one. The incident happened that day, that week I was out of country and he was managing for behalf of me during that time.
So I believe, Mr. Chairman, not to testify, but the records that the board provided me showed that at the time of this incident, there were 4 persons that had management agreements had been submitted for, is my read.
I have no further questions at this time.
Mr. Bittner, did you plan to introduce the alcohol awareness certificate?
Yes. But I would just, I'll move it in through Mr. Patel. This is the alcohol awareness certification of Ms. Suthar, the clerk in question, on March the 8th. Correct? Is that her certificate?
Yes, it is.
And it was valid on March the 8th, 2025. Correct?
Yes.
And through a clerical error, you didn't submit it down to the board along with a management agreement. Is that right?
Commissioners, any questions of the licensees?
I have no questions.
Just a quick question for me. Does Ms. Suthar still work at this establishment?
Not anymore. She
And-
got suspended for 2 weeks after the incident, and while she was suspended, she found another job.
Got it. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, any follow-up questions?
No, actually, Commissioner Sung had hit the question right on the head. That was it.
Mr. Bennett, did you have anything in mitigation?
Oh, we do. And most respectfully, we'd like to be heard in that matter. If the board that has appeared before you with my client's Nursery Road. And the board should consider the fact, most respectfully, that they have retained counsel that shows how serious they take this matter, how serious they've taken matters previously that have occurred and brought them before the board under their watch since they've had this license for a little over 10 years. Number one, they have in plan, in policy, it's written, I'll hand it up if the board please, it's a copy of what all their employees sign regarding the ID policy and regarding the consequences of serving underage persons alcohol or tobacco. The policy, you'll note, calls for termination for serving. And you heard Mr. Patel candidly answer the question that Ms. Poor was suspended for 2 weeks. And the reason, members of the board, that they elected to suspend her for 2 weeks, when in the past every other clerk who's been involved in a violation was summarily fired. These owner-operators have never served an underage person. Is because Ms. Poor, and I'm sorry, Pooja from apologies, had been with them for over a year. She'd been trained, and she, I'm told by my clients, was the leading carder. She had confiscated more underage cards and then been more aggressive than anyone else. And so they were willing to offer her a chance. They did want her to pay some monetary compensation to reimburse them their expenses, and she ultimately left. But their policy, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, or anyone who serves is fired. Everyone under the age of 40 is carded, and they've been actively pursuing that in one of the busiest stores in the county. Certainly the board's aware of the location, right at the tip, literally their property backs up to the Patapsco River. So they have a lot of Baltimore County business, they have a lot of Baltimore City business. They're open 7 days. Sunday's a very busy day for them. You heard they have a large staff. literally several hundred points of sales transactions daily. And you're only as good as your weakest link. In spite of their efforts, they have a training program. Everyone comes in, is alcohol awareness certified. This support was. After this incident, we got together, my clients and I, we got together with members of the staff, and I'd like to, it's in your files that what was submitted, updating the alcohol awareness and manager certificates. And I'd ask the board to note that you'll see that many of these certificates were issued on April the 26th of this year. So my clients held a dress down, a stand down, if you would. The staff was there. They brought in the TIPS TAMS people. They got everybody up to date, submitted that on to the board. So they've been proactive since they took possession of the license. They continue to be proactive. And in that furtherance, what they have scheduled, they don't have a date firm of the representative of SURE, S-U-R-E 10, which is a card reader scanner service, is going to meet with my clients after the 4th of July. They couldn't schedule it in before the holiday. And it's their intention to install a formalized card reading system at the point of sale that would require a license to open a valid identification to open the cash register. They recognize the seriousness of this. They recognize the gravity of it. They've, I suggest most respectfully, done everything that they could do. When we went and looked at the tape, in spite of Ms. Sapor being one of their best employees and being properly trained, when this CI came in, she was playing on her phone, distracted. So it's serious. They take it serious. Nothing intentional, nothing that's a habit. It's not a business plan. To my knowledge, this isn't a problem establishment. And we ask the board to take all of that into consideration. The clerk, in spite of everything, was polite and cooperative. My clients have been proactive, and we ask you to impose a modest fine in this situation. Thank you very much. And they're, of course, happy to answer any of your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bittner. I believe you testified, and and please correct me if I'm wrong, that you said the previous violations that Nursery Road Liquors had for non-compliance or sale to minors, none of these gentlemen were present at the time, or none of them were licensees?
No, they were licensees, but my understanding is they were not present and were not the point of sale.
Okay.
It was, again, a trusted clerk who had alcohol awareness and management agreement who sold.
Yeah. Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure I understood that correctly. You do have 3 licensees on this particular license. And I understand that, especially with a busy store, they can't be there all the time, but it's much easier when you have 3 licensees to oversee than if you only had 1. You also made mention that I believe it was the CI was on the phone at the time of the sale. Is that correct? Or was it the
Mr.
clerk?
Chairman, the clerk.
The clerk.
Miss Puja, thank you.
Okay, all right, good, got that straight. No further questions at this time, thank you.
Commissioners, any questions?
This prior to violation of March 8th, or is it something that was made following the violation?
Oh, it was on the place already.
Okay. Did Ms. Puja sign one of these?
Yes, she did.
Okay. But you didn't bring a copy of her
No,
signed?
sir.
I would think that would be more relevant than the
Okay.
form, but, okay. Thank you.
In all candor, Commissioner, I did not produce that because it was a business record.
Okay. Thank you.
Did want to produce that is the policy.
Chairman?
Is there anything else, Mr. Bittner, before I make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, only to reiterate what I previously said, their last violation, as I have it, is days within 3 years.
Okay.
2 within 5 years.
I have two previous violations within 5 years. There was one back in 2017, but we don't consider that, and I will not consider it. But this makes the third violation within a 5-year period. And I'm sure if the licensees were in the store, it may not have happened. And maybe that's something you need to think about. Perhaps either a licensee or a person that can really oversee these sales. And I know you're a busy store, but that's just another reason why you should be even more careful. I'm going to make a motion, and even though Mr. Bittner and I don't see eye to eye on this, I do try to treat everybody the same. And I'm going to do that here, with the exception of the fact that this is your third violation within a 5-year period, not your second, like the 3 previous ones. I'm going to make a motion, and to be honest, I was contemplating going 2 different ways with this. One was to go ahead and fine you for 3 offenses within a 5-year period, which I'm going to make a motion that it'd be $1,500 per charge for the minor and under 21. So you have 2 of those charges. Because this is the third one, I have to just add a caveat, if I may. You need to be extremely careful, because if you come in within a short period of time or within a 5-year period, it's going to be your 4th. And I think I ran out of fines, so you want to be very careful with that. As far as the alcohol awareness program and the ownership and operation, I'm also going to make a motion that we find you guilty of both of those. Obviously, there was no licensee or a manager on duty at the time. And even though you did, I think, do alcohol awareness training program after this date, it would have been a lot better had you been able to do it beforehand and maybe, refreshed your employees. So I'm going to make a motion on the 2 save violations, $1,500 each, and I'm going to also make a motion that we find you guilty of the 3rd and 4th alcohol awareness and ownership and operation, with a $100 fine for each of those. So a total of $3,200 for all the offenses, and a serious warning. Please be careful. Okay, that's some form of a motion. I'm looking for a second.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, thank you both. We
Thank
have
you,
a
Mr.
second.
Chairman, members of the
All
board.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So be it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, officers.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your time, detectives.
100 each of those.
Appreciate you. All right, so we are on to the cases. The first case is for Dark Horse One LLC, trading as Dark Horse. Kristen DeMio Gaines, managing member. Ryan Gaines, member. Inspector Christopher Sidebottom. There's one restriction on the license that was placed 5/1 of 2016 for entertainment permit for multiple TV privilege only. This is for an upgrade to dancing with the establishment located at 985 Bay Ridge Road, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. And this is a current D tavern license for beer, wine, and liquor with music and entertainment that is restricted with Sunday service as well as outdoor service. Anyone who is wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. Starting to my left, if you could state your name and address for the record.
Christian DeMeo Gaines, 1015 Jackson Street, Annapolis, Maryland.
Ryan Gaines, 1015 Jackson Street, Annapolis, Maryland.
Thank you. Mr. Ertl.
Good review, Mr. and Mrs. Gaines.
Yes, so we opened our doors in the middle of 2020 in August. We had a liquor board hearing in 2019 in October, I believe, an initial one. At that time, we did not have a signed lease, so we postponed or continued our follow-up hearing in January, I believe, January 14th, 2020. Upon that hearing, we were granted the transfer of the liquor license from the prior owner of Ebtide, who had been in business for 20 years, the prior operators. Ahead of that, our building has been a tavern license since back to the 50s and had always had dancing, or the dancing tier live bands, from what we understood. And so I think the confusion was around the word dancing. When we initially said no or hold off to dancing, we understood that to be a dance hall or club, which is what we're not. We're a full-service bar, restaurant, sports bar, and we love live music, and we would love to have live music on our stage.
Do you have any proposed hours for the live music and?
9 to midnight, typically. We're open until 2. We have security on music nights that starts at 9 p.m. Those are our music hours. Our neighbors are friendly. We have the fire station to our right. They're great neighbors of ours. CVS is to our left up on the hill. Behind us is an assisted living facility. Many of their members come to Dark Horse for lunch and dinner. Outside of that, we have Bay Ridge Road, and some of the closest houses in that Annapolis Roads community come to Dark Horse for live music to enjoy.
And how many nights a week do you propose to have live music?
Mostly 3, sometimes 4, depending on the weekend if it's a holiday.
Chairman, any questions?
Yes, I have a couple. First of all, do either of you have any financial interest in any other liquor license in the state of Maryland? Either? No. You do, sir?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Okay. And you do not, ma'am, correct?
I do not.
Okay. All right. I noticed on your drawings that you submitted, you're showing a dance floor comparable to the size of the tables. It's about 2 to 3 tables wide.
Not very big. Our place is not very big, and so if people do feel like getting up to dance, it's in a small area by the stage.
Okay, and it's actually smaller than the stage area.
Yes.
According to the drawing, I mean.
By far.
By far?
Yeah.
Okay. You understand that if we do grant this, that you're going to be held to what's on this drawing, so you cannot expand that dance floor area without coming back to us.
Yeah, we'd have trouble doing that, actually.
You do have plans on? Is that what
No. We
oh, you
wouldn't be
don't
able
have.
to do that,
Okay.
whether we
All
wanted
right.
to or not.
I have no further questions at this time.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Did the licensee have anything to add?
Just that we thank you for your consideration, and we're a big supporter of the arts and music scene in our town.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. One of our biggest concerns when it comes to dancing, of course, is the music and And it's not really the dancing per se on the floor within the confines of the building. It's what finds its way outside of that. And according to this, the location of your dance floor and everything, I really don't think that we should see a problem, and I would hope not. And that's for you to manage and govern. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we grant the upgraded dancing. Looking for a second.
I second the motion to upgrade.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, next case is for LaFontaine Blue, Inc., trading as LaFontaine Blue, Sergio Meza, President, Juan C. Meza, Vice President, Inspector Earl Barnes, no restrictions. This is for an upgrade to dancing. The location is located at 7510 to 7514 Ritchie Highway, Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21061. This is for a Class H restaurant on sale only with music and Sunday service. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward and remain standing and raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can be seated. Starting from my left, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Yes, John Gardner, counsel for the applicant, 7310 Ritchie Highway, Suite 412, Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21061.
Thank you. Sir.
My name is Sergio Meza. Address is 8022 Mansion House Crossing, Pasadena, Maryland.
And my name is Juan Mesa, and my address is 506 Sunset North, Pasadena, 21122.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Gardner? All right, thank you, Mr. Hurdle. I would first ask, there's a supplemental list, exhibit list that I had submitted to the board on June 4th by email. And I wanted to ask that that be made part of the record, admitted into.
It's so admitted.
All right, thank you. I'd draw the board's attention to Exhibit 3 of that supplemental exhibit list that I submitted on June 4th. Does the board have copies of that in front of it? It's a sketch of the floor plan of the restaurant. I'll ask Mr. Mesa some questions. Mr. Mesa, I hand you what is Exhibit 3, and you've applied for a dancing permit for the LaFontaine Blue. You've already received, been approved for the license itself, but what area is designated for dancing only on this Exhibit 3?
It's going to be the shaded area.
All
So, excluding the restaurant is shaded, but it's not. Is it?
Okay, so the patio area.
Yeah.
Would the dancing be included there?
No. It's
Okay. It would only be in the shaded, gray shaded area.
the bigger area, yes.
All right, and the building is larger than that, is that correct?
Yes. Yes, it
All
is.
right, and is there a restaurant to one's, that's being built now, that's to one side of the catering hall?
Correct. Yes.
All right, and what walls are there between the catering hall and where the restaurant will be?
Where the shaded area is there is a wall blocking. There is a hall.
Is
and there
it a permanent wall?
Yes, permanent wall.
Okay.
Then there is a hall, walking hall, and then there's bathrooms in between the restaurant.
Okay, so there's two walls and restrooms.
I would say it's like 3 walls, different walls. It's the one on the shaded area.
By
then-
the shaded area, that's
then
one wall.
Then the hall wall, and then the bathrooms.
A hall wall?
Yeah, hall wall.
Okay, all right. And then then the walls on the other side of the bathroom?
Yes.
And that's all between the catering hall and the restaurant that is being constructed now?
Correct. Yes.
All right. And so, what noise do you anticipate that would filter from the catering hall, if you know, over to the restaurant area?
You might be able to hear it, but we even right now we put in different bathrooms, so we don't have the same customers in the same areas. So the restaurant will be totally separate from the hall.
So in the reconstruction, did you add more bathrooms for that purpose?
Yes.
For greater insulation?
Well, that way, yeah, they don't have to. There is a wall another wall in between that they don't have to be crossing.
There's another wall that was not there under the previous.
It was there, but it was an entrance. It was a door before.
Oh, okay. And that door is no longer there?
It was totally open, and it will be like a door.
Okay. Will it be the access between the catering hall and the restaurant? To what extent will it be restricted?
By a door, one door.
Only one door?
One door. Well, and besides the walls that is in between. So it's not immediately, if you want to get out of the dancing area, you have to go through the hall, to the bathrooms, and then to the restaurant.
I have nothing further, Mr. Mesa. I would point out to the board several things. Back in January, we had the hearing which approved the Class H license. And at that time, there was a lot of discussion and a submittal of the criteria memo. And a lot of the criteria in there apply to the request for, or the approval, prospective approval of this dancing permit under AB Section 1102. So the, in terms of the benefit of the public, the welfare of the public, the accommodation of the public, I think the same criteria apply to this request as it did for the original license. And I think Mr. Mesa's testimony makes clear, with the additional renovations that were done, that he's very conscious of trying to segregate the restaurant from the dancing area in the catering hall itself. I will ask Mr. Mesa one more categorical question. Is the dancing only permitted, or maybe I asked this before, but I'll ask again, is the dancing only permitted in the catering hall and no place else?
Correct.
I may have asked it before, but
You
better
did,
to ask twice.
you did, and it's clear. Thank you.
All right, very well. Anyway, so I think it meets the criteria in both AB 1102 as well as the initial criteria. I'd also point out that this La Fontainebleau, under previous ownership, had much the same type of facility where you had the catering hall and you had other areas outside the catering hall. And it's in the same exact location. So there's a long track record, a long track history of it meeting the criteria that is set forth in the statute. And so I think it has a track record that warrants the granting of the dancing permit, which it had before in the catering hall under the previous ownership. So I would submit to the board with that request.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Gardner.
Thank you.
I have no questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
Okay, Mr. Gardner, I think the case is well presented. I think we understand exactly where the dancing should take place, and only place that it should take place is in that shaded area. And it's really important that we, the board, want you to understand that. I mean, it's a nice, large dance area, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of room for everybody. But we can't let that expand into the restaurant or any other portions in lobby or whatever, okay? I'm trying to think if I remember correctly, the other establishment or the previous establishment, there were bars in different portions of that catering area. Are you planning on doing the same thing?
Yeah, it is correct. There is that can be divided in 5 different rooms.
Right.
And each room has its own little bar.
Sort of a portable bar?
No, it's a fixed bar.
It's a fixed bar in each area?
Yes.
With portable walls to expand or?
No, there has a fixed bar. Some are small bars, but They're all fixed. Like, you cannot move them. They're in place.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty much the same as it was previously.
Yeah.
And I can't remember whether a warning or it was mentioned at the time of the original appearance here in front of the board. But you need to be, and your employees, you've heard tonight some of the issues we had, are very vigilant, especially in these smaller bar areas where, you have a wedding in one room or one area and you have another celebration in another. The bartenders, they're pretty busy. But it's still a requirement that they not serve anybody under the age of 21. And I can only express to you, and you saw the officers who are part of the SAVE unit, one of their jobs are to go in and check and make sure that the licensees and the establishments are not serving minors. So just a little forewarning, please be very, very careful of that. Be vigilant. Make sure your employees are. Because, you might be over in the restaurant, running the restaurant, not realizing that, you could have somebody approaching one of your bartenders who's underage. And with the reception rooms, and I've been there many times, it can get a little busy, especially with the, the music and the dancing. I just thought I'd throw that in, but I'm going to go ahead and make a motion, unless Mr. Gardner has something else he wants to add.
Nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we grant you your dancing you're requesting, but please keep that in mind as well as the other warning, which has nothing to do with dancing, with the exception of takes place in the same areas.
Yes.
Looking for a second.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Lots of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome, Mr. Gardner. Have a good day.
Take care.
All right, the next case we have is for ANMD Associates LLC.
Wait for reading.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand, please. Raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can be seated. Starting to my left here, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Good evening, Leanne Schreckengoss with Royston Mullen Clayton Reed here on behalf of the applicants.
Yes, Jeffrey Colasar, 249 Bodley Road, Aston, Pennsylvania, 19014.
Christine DeBerry, 3682 7th Avenue, Edgewater.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle.
Ms. Schreckengoss, do you wish to proffer?
If I may. And if I may begin by saying, welcome, Mr. Sung. Nice to see
Thank
you
you
again.
very much. Good to see you too.
Good evening to all of you as well. Yes, we're here for a transfer of the liquor license for the Doubletree Hotel. Most of you are very familiar with it since the liquor board hearings used to be held there back in the day. Yes, so Mr. Colasar is the 50% member and an authorized person of ANMD Associates LLC, which has taken over operation of this hotel under a receivership order. His partner, Mr. Wellenbusher, is also a 50% member. He is not on the liquor license because he's not been authorized as a licensee, but you do have all of his financial information in the file for this one. The operation of the hotel is not changing. They have 101 employees who work at the hotel. 41 of those are involved in the sale or service of alcohol. All of the employees are required to undergo TIPS training before they are permitted to sell or serve alcohol within the establishment. The hours of operation for the restaurant and lounge are remaining as they are. For the restaurant, it's 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. daily and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily. And then for the lounge, their hours of operation are Sunday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m., and Friday and Saturday, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Again, like I said, nothing's changing, so they continue to meet the seating requirements. The restaurant itself has seating for 140. Then, as you're aware, they have seating in all the banquet rooms as well. They do have the enclosed patio, which does have alcohol service to it. It does have 2 gates on it, which does have signage that no alcohol is permitted beyond this point, and these are emergency exits only. Egress and egress is only through the restaurant, and it is in clear view of the bartender for monitoring purposes. They do also sell out of their little market area, which is under camera, and everything in the alcohol, from the alcohol perspective, is under, it can be viewed by the staff members that are at the front desk to make sure that nobody's coming in and grabbing. With that in perspective, the hotel's carding policy is that they card everyone regardless of age, and they do not accept vertical IDs. So that is continuing to be in place, and will continue to stay in place. So with that, I turn it over to the board for any questions you may have.
Very good. The question that I had, you just answered, Ms. Schrecken-Gostin, thank you. And that concerned the outdoor service, if it was going to stay intact and so forth, and if anything changed, and evidently it's not, so that's good. The hours and of that alcohol are available. What are those hours?
Oh, sorry. It's 5 p.m. to 12 o'clock Sunday through Thursday in the restaurant, as well as our market. And then on Fridays and Saturday nights, it's 5 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay, very good. I have no further questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Anything else, Ms. Schrecken-Gostin?
I have nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, well, then I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we grant the transfer. I'm looking for a second.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, lots of luck, and take care.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, the next case we have is for Commonwealth LLC, trading as Fuji Sushi and Hibachi Steakhouse, Wei Jing Wei, member, Exgen Lin, member, Inspector Vin Pelletier. There's one restriction on the license that was placed in October 13th of 2005, rather. No live entertainment and dance floor, TVs only, all alcoholic beverages must be served with food except at the bar area of 8 seats. This is for a transfer and to have restrictions removed. Currently, Ex-John Lynn President, Katie Rayleigh, Secretary on behalf of Falk Inc., trading as Fuji Sushi and Hibachi Steakhouse, located at 169 Mitchell Chance Road, Edgewater, Maryland, 21037. This is a Class H restaurant, beer, wine, and liquor with dancing and Sunday Sunday license. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, raise your right hand to be sworn in. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury and that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can be seated. Starting from my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Jonathan Hyatt, counsel for the applicants, 1 Research Court, Suite 450, Rockville, Maryland.
My name is Wei Jing Wei, 4 Mill Haven Court, Edgewater, Maryland, 21037.
Su Junling, 4 Mill Haven Court, Edgewater, 21037.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Mr. I.
Thank you, and if I may proceed by proffer for this transfer. Thank you. We're here tonight on a transfer application for a Class H, as the Chief Inspector identified. The transfer is Thok Inc. Mr. Lin is a former member, and the transferee is Commonwealth, which is a member, limited liability company comprised of Ms. Wei as well as Mr. Lin. She is now the majority. He is the minority owner. The restaurant Fuji Japanese Steakhouse has been cooperated by Mr. Lin and Ms. Wei for about 4 years now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so they're both residents of Anne Arundel County. Ms. Wei essentially invested into this new entity to take over the operation of the Fuji Steakhouse. Both the applicants have experience operating restaurants, Your Honor. Commissioners, and they will be involved in the day-to-day operations. Between them, each has approximately 10 years of experience running restaurant operations. As to the transfer application, the key here is that there's going to be no changes in the business. The transferee will be carrying forward the same business model, the same staff, the continuity of the 6 original staff that are there. Nothing is going to change. They're not gutting the place. Nothing is substantively going to change during this process. Thok, the current operator license, already has a good alcohol practice protocol in place. They have trained staff that are also alcohol awareness certified. They also card anyone. When I discuss to them, they generally card everybody, but they try to cut it off at like around 30. It's kind of tough. So I'm trying to talk to them about just carding everybody. I think that's what we're agreeing on when we were listening to what was going on here. I think the safest practice for them. They haven't had any issues, but I think rather than trying to make that determination, I think it's safer just to tell them, which we discussed, just to card everybody. But that has already been in place. They've already had that protocol in place. So, like I said, there's no change from one entity to the other. Not to mention the handoff comes from Mr. Lin as well. He also is going to be the new owner in the entity, although a minority owner. Further, both applicants also understand, obviously, the rules, the regulations, the requirements of the board. They are also the people who uphold the rules here. They will be responsible. They understand they'll be responsible for the violations. They'll be brought before the board for any type of violations to face reprimands. Also, there's this issue of the restrictions. They're applying this time to remove the restriction because principally they're trying to expand the reach of their business a little bit with the intent of trying to book more parties and private functions, so they wish to be able to operate with the option of live music. However, one thing specifically, they're not trying to open later. They're not trying to push live music into the late evening for their establishment. The intent is just to have it during the weekend hours, maybe for private functions or something, to have that option available during regular business hours. The intention of the restriction is not to expand hours so that working later into the evening. The hours they operate right now are Monday through Thursday, 1 through 9, Friday and Saturday, 12 to 10, Sundays, 12 to 9:30. That will not change even if the restriction would be removed. I have no further as to the property commissioners. I would defer to the board if there's any additional questions for the applicants.
Chairman, any questions?
Yes, a couple. The restrictions, and I'm reading them directly, it's no live entertainment, dance floor, TVs only, all alcoholic beverage must be served with food, except at the bar area of 8 seats. The bar area still has 8 seats?
Yeah.
Okay, so that hasn't changed. The no live entertainment, I'm assuming because they want the restriction lifted, they plan on having live entertainment. Is that correct?
Well, they would like the option to have that available, but they're not planning a specific. So the bar area, when they explained, was in the front. That's where they would have some entertainment for maybe a private function or something, but it wouldn't be anything more than that. The bar area is when you first enter into the restaurant, if you look at the layout. It's not meant to go deeper to turn or convert because it's a teppanyaki restaurant. They have the steel tables. It's not something they can go in and move tables. The purpose is to have the music out front. If they needed something for a cultural, maybe a party, they can have some kind of live music there. But it's not going to substantively change the function of the internal operations of the restaurant. Meaning, we're not converting it into a tavern, not converting it into a nightclub or anything like that. No substantive change, no moving the tables. It's just being able to put it in the front where the eight seats are for the bar.
It also says no dance floor. They plan on using or designing a dance floor?
No, they're not planning. That was never sort of part of the bigger plan. It's when they learned that there was a restriction with regards to live music, their interest was to actually bring that into the fold of their business so that they could have the option of having live music. But dance floor is frankly not one of the business models that they're looking at.
It doesn't pay in many cases, or it depends on their intent.
Right.
I guess my last question has directly related to the all alcoholic beverage must be served in conjunction with food. If we lift this restriction, then that's no longer a requirement. And is that their intent there, so that they can
to be able to have sales at the bar, at the front, with that small section in the front?
Okay.
That would be the extent of it.
All right, thank you. You've answered all my questions. I have no further questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
I have no questions.
I have no questions.
All right. With that being said, and I do this with a little bit of caution. Please be careful, because when this board, or at least when I make a motion to lift the restriction, it's with an understanding that this restriction was put on previously due to a reason, and I may not be perfectly clear as to what that reason is. and I hope your clients don't show us what that reason was. So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we do grant the transfer and remove the restrictions. I'm looking for a second.
I second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. Consider it done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Okay, the next case we have is for Meatballs of Glen Burnie, Inc., trading as Squisito Pizza and Pasta, Glen Burnie. Hubert Barnes Jr., and we have Inspector Earl Barnes. No restrictions. This is for a transfer. Currently, Gennaro DiMio, President. Karen Petros, Assistant Secretary on behalf of Meatballs of Glen Burnie, Inc., trading as Squisito Pizza and Pasta, located at 801 Landmark Drive, Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21061. This is a Class H restaurant, beer and wine with entertainment and Sunday service. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can be seated. Starting from my left here, will you please state your name and address for the record?
Omar Umar, 1893 Champlain Drive, Severn, Maryland.
Cliff Ward, 1895 Champlain Drive, 7.
Hubert Barnes, 1471 Gaston Drive, Hanover, Maryland.
Elias Arriaga, 830 Monroe Street, Annapolis, Maryland.
Thank you. Mr. Erdl?
Mr. Ward? Yes, I'm
Mr. Barnes. Thank you, Mr. Barnes. It's your chance. Take your hat off, Mr.
Oh.
Thank you. I Mr. Barnes, to you.
Thank you. Yes, we're here to transfer the liquor license from Meatballs. We purchased Meatballs in Glen Burnie in 2024, March 2024, and we're just trying to transfer the liquor license on. All operations will remain the same. Elias has been managing the restaurant for several years, and we're just trying to get a transfer.
Your proposed hours of operations, sir.
One second.
The hours
11 to 9.
There is 11 to 9, Monday to Thursday, Sunday to Thursday, Friday and Saturday is 11 to 10 p.m.
Chairman, any questions?
No questions.
Commissioners?
No questions.
I have no questions.
Okay. Before I make a motion, is there anything else you'd like to add or?
Yes,
Okay.
I'd like to thank Dennis and Michelle for guiding us through this process. We couldn't have done it without their help.
Okay. Well, we thank you. The board likes to hear those kind of things, so thank you, sir, for saying that. But no, he's not getting a raise this year. But no. I might have
We
to.
tried.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We have no further questions, like I said, or like we just said. Going to make a motion that we grant this transfer. Looking for a second.
I second the transfer.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. Lots of luck. Mr. Barnes, you're the only one on the license, correct?
Correct.
Just a reminder that either you have to be on the premises at all times when they're open, or a manager on a manager's agreement, which I know you are. Lots of luck. Have a good day.
All right, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get squared away.
Oh, Mr. Barnes, one quick question. Do you have any other financial interest in any other liquor license?
I do not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The next case we have is for Blue Sunday of Laurel LLC, trading as Blue Sunday Bar and Grill. We have Wei Jiang Chin, managing member, and Inspector George Matthews. This is for a new license. It's located in the Maryland City Plaza, located at 3443 Laurel Fort Meade Road in Laurel, Maryland, 20724. This is for a Class H restaurant license, beer, wine, and liquor with entertainment, multiple TVs only, and Sunday license. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Can you please, thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, I do. Thank you. You may be seated. Starting to my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Gene Mark, counsel for the applicant, 4614 Roxbury Drive, Bethesda, Maryland, 20814.
Thank you.
Wei Guan Chen, 13105 Park Eaton, Clifton, Maryland.
Thank you. Mr. Ertl.
Mr. Mark?
Thank you, counsel. On behalf of the applicant, we are here this evening to obtain a Class H restaurant beer, wine, liquor license. I would ask that the chairman and commissioners allow me to do my proper.
Please.
Mr. Chen, are you the managing sole member of Blue Sunday of Laurel LLC?
Yes.
And do you plan to work there full-time on the licensed premises?
Yes, and we have an operation manager on site.
Have you ever held an alcoholic beverage license?
No.
And do you have any financial interest in any other business that has an alcoholic beverage license?
No.
Have you read and do you agree to obey the rules and regulations covering the sale of alcoholic beverages in Anne Arundel County?
Yes.
Have you ever been convicted of any felony or been found guilty of any offense against the laws of the United States?
No.
Have you ever been guilty of violating the laws governing the sale of any alcoholic beverage?
No.
How old do you have to be to buy alcoholic
21.
beverage? And how old do you have to be to serve alcoholic beverages?
18.
Okay. Would you ask for ID for anyone who looks younger than 35 years of age?
Yes.
Okay. Have you completed the alcohol awareness training program?
Yes.
And my last question is, what are the forms of acceptable ID?
Driver license, stage ID, green card, passport, and I think that's electronic ID, electronic app ID, and military picture ID as well.
I have no further questions.
Chairman?
Just for clarity's sake, Mr. Mark, when you asked Mr. Chen about how old you need to be to serve alcohol, I have a question, a follow-up question. How old do you have to be to open a bottle of wine?
21.
How old do you have to be to pour beer?
21.
Mix a drink?
21.
Okay. So when you were referring to serving, you're talking about the delivery of the alcoholic drink, correct?
Yes.
And yes, you're right. That's 18. I just wanted to make sure you understood that that didn't mean that an 18-year-old could go behind the bar to a tap and pour beer or open a bottle.
Right.
And no, I'm glad you understand that.
Understood.
Thanks for answering the quiz.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have any other, and I know Mr. Mark asked this question, but I'm going to ask it of you directly. Do you have any other financial interest in any other liquor license in the state of Maryland, anywhere?
No.
Okay, thank you. Do you plan on, do you have a dance floor?
I don't have a dance floor, but I do have a stage, but it's just kind of like a decoration stage. It wasn't doing anything, pretty much just setting up some type of like pianos and peanut, like, you know, just like decoration stuff.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may just interrupt.
Yeah, please, Mr. Mark.
Please, just
Go
for some
right ahead.
background. That dance floor that you see in the application in terms of the floor plan, it was an existing dance floor that was there. It was not something that they put in. And they have no intention of, using it as a dance floor.
Do they plan on taking out the dance floor?
I think from a construction standpoint, they decided just to leave it in.
Is anything on the dance floor?
Right now, no, but we are planning to set up some type of music equipment, but it wouldn't be used. It's just for people who are looking at it.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
It's like a piano or some stuff will be sitting on it, but it won't play.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just for decor
Yes.
purposes only?
Just looking good.
Okay. But if you decide you want to do anything or change that or even remove the stage or the dance floor rather, you do need to come back and contact the liquor board and get something in writing to us, and then we'll either grant you permission or whatever the case. I have no further questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay. With that being said, Mr. Mark, Mr. Chen, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve, excuse me, the new license for Blue Sunday. And, looking for a second.
I second the motion.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Lots
Mr.
of
Chairman,
luck and-
Commissioners, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, last but not least, we have BTB2 LLC trading as Timber Pizza Edgewater. Christopher L. Brady, President, Partner, Inspector Vin Pelletier. This is for a new license located at 3279 Solomon's Island Road, Edgewater, Maryland, 21037. This is for a Class H restaurant license, beer, wine, and liquor with entertainment, with multiple TVs only, and a Sunday license. Mr. Brady, if you can stand, and we'll swear you in. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may be seated. Can you please state your name and record your name and address for the record?
Sure, yeah. Christopher Brady, 316 Burnside Street, Annapolis, Maryland.
Thank you. Mr. Erdl?
Mr. Brady?
So I am co-founder of Timber Pizza Company, a business I started a decent while ago in Washington, D.C., and I've brought it back to my hometown. Here in Annapolis, we operate right down the road here on West Street, and then this would be our second location within the county in Edgewater. And just very excited about having a family pizza restaurant for the community where I'm from.
Brady, can you tell us about your hours and your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in the hospitality business the majority of my professional career. Been the owner and main operator of Timber Pizza for 11 years. Our hours here in Annapolis will be similar to our hours for Edgewater for this license. We plan on opening 3:30 to 8:30 Monday through Thursday. On Fridays and Saturdays, we'll be open for lunch 11:30 to 9:30, and on Sundays we close a little bit earlier, so we'll do 11:30 to probably 8:30 on Sundays for the completion of our hours.
Chairman, any questions?
Talked about your experience. Do you have any other financial interest in any other establishment that sells alcohol in the state of Maryland?
I do.
And what are they?
It's our Timber Pizza location here in the city, and that liquor license is held with the city of Annapolis.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
Just a quick question for me. For the Annapolis location that currently has a liquor license and the DC location, does the DC location have an alcoholic beverage license?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And any violations at either location in the
Never
past?
before.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add before we make a decision?
No, I appreciate it's been a transparent process through our council, who I foregoed this evening. I figured I could come
Mr.
before
Dave.
and just, I'm tired of paying them. But they, I think, have had good communication and correspondence. For you all, the process has been clear and concise, and just appreciative of everyone's time.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to thank you for your patience
Got stuck with those dark horse folks over there. Good people. They do things the right way though.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we grant the license. Looking for a second.
I second the motion to grant the license.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
All right,
Chairman.
and
Appreciate it.
you understand about the management agreements?
Indeed.
You're familiar
Yes,
with that?
absolutely.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Have
Appreciate
a good day,
that.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Our hearing is adjourned for June 24th.
Been here once or twice.
Inspectors, hold your positions for a second or two, please.